Well, indeed, we are here. Welcome to Hamityville Horror. Thank you for visiting. I am Clint,
I'm Don.
and today we have even more guests. We're going to try another one of these conglomerate interviews where we interview a cast and crew of a recent indie horror film. We're going to be talking today about Bloody Summer Camp, hopefully, or at least what we're allowed to talk about. I'd like to start off by welcoming Dave Kerr, who is pretty well the writer and director of this film. Now, when I look into your stuff, Dave, I find that I see about 5 films listed, and they're basically all yours. And I was just curious, just right off the bat, what was it that made you want to get into making films?
I never really thought that I would. I just kind of I always had a thing for making videos. I always played music, and we would always make our own music videos. And so I kind of got into the whole coming up with short stories to put into these music videos. And that's kind of where the idea for my first film, Curse of the Slasher Nurse, came from. It was originally supposed to be a concept for a music video that eventually evolved into a full-length film.
Yeah. And then you did a follow-up to that then too, didn't you? It was a Return of the Slasher Nurse.
Yeah, that was the sequel.
Right. So did you like study film or anything like that, or is it just something that you kind of learned by doing?
No, it's something I fell into. Like I said, was just with the popularity of YouTube in the early 2000s, we knew that we wanted to start making music videos to try and get our music out there, and just picked up a camera and started creating them myself. And I met up with a old friend from high school who was currently dating a girl who did special effects. She did horror photography where she do zombies and all kinds of stuff. And they were always interested in collaborating and making like horror themed music videos. And this is kind of where it evolved from. Once I made the decision to actually make a film, I did kind of a crash course where I researched basically everything, all the basics to making a film, from what the best gear was for the best value, what the basics were for lighting, the best sound equipment, and just kind of learned as I went. I considered the first film, Curse, as being that was a learning experience for me. That's where I learned a lot of what I know now from film, was just by doing that movie.
So you're really self-taught, like a real DIY guy. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. that was the whole reason for doing Return, because originally I didn't want to do a sequel to Curse, because if I wanted to make something else, I didn't want it to be attached to the first film, because I knew the second one was going to be better, and I didn't want people to have to watch the first one in order to watch the second one. But everyone else wanted to do the sequel, and I saw it as kind of like a second try, almost like a reboot, to go and do the Slasher Nurse again, and just kind of take everything that I learned, all the mistakes, and use that to make a better film. And I thought it turned out way better.
Yeah, well, I mean, you were nice enough to share with us basically a cut of your current film, Bloody Summer Camp, and Don and I both checked it out, and I'd have to say that you must have learned a lot in a very short amount of time, because
I fucking loved it.
The production value
I'm not beating around the bush on it.
Was really freaking good for like a low budget film. I mean, I was pretty surprised by it. So
yeah,
I mean,
I appreciate that. It's a great crew. I learned a lot, but also along the way, I met people that just really helped, boost everything I was doing. Owen, my cinematographer, he's a big reason why stuff got better. I met him after Curse when I did Return. He came on, and finally I had someone who actually was a professional, who knew how to work a camera. And that, along with upgrading our equipment and, like I said, learning from our mistakes, it just, every film that we make, we always try to make it better than the previous film. So
yeah, I noticed your sound quality was really good. I mean, and that's one of those things that typically stands out in some of the lower budget films that I watch, that you can hear it. You can hear the echoes, you can tell that it's a little tinny, or they're a little far away from the mic or something like that. Like somebody was paying attention to that. I think when
anyone who's ever interested in making a film, if you look up, the basics of filmmaking, one thing that everyone always agrees with is, if your sound is bad, your movie's shit. You can have a film that's not shot very well, and people will still watch it.
Yeah.
If they can't hear what's going on, no one's going to want your film.
That's you know what, that's true. Me and Clint have watched a couple movies where we've talked about that. Easter Bunny Massacre was one that we really kind of hit home on it, because there was times when you couldn't hear the dialogue because the soundtrack was higher than the dialogue, and I'm like, that kills a movie for me. I mean, it really does, because again, there, of course, there's not a shit ton of character development in it, but I like to know what the person is saying.
Yeah,
and so yeah, we agree with that.
With Curse, I did what I could. I didn't have a sound guy with Curse, so it kind of just got passed around. Half the time it was me doing sound while filming it with the camera, while directing. But I did try to get the best microphone, but it's just I didn't have anyone in charge of sound. After Curse, we got body mics, and I tried to get someone who was specific for sound, because you got to have someone that's just really listening and making sure that you're getting what you're supposed to get. And then with Bloody Summer Camp, through the magic of Craigslist, I met a guy named Jonathan who became our sound guy, and he's just an amazing fucking person. And he's so passionate about sound. When he's listening for every little thing, making sure that the sound, he's always adjusting knobs. And that's a big thing, is having someone who is only paying attention to the sound.
Yeah.
So
yeah, definitely, I agree with that. You got to have somebody dedicated to it, because you're too busy doing the directing and the writing and everything, and you got to have somebody that takes that off your plate and says, hey, I got you, brother. And and we can tell with the sound quality, if there was anything that we could and nothing was bad, but if anything kind of like jumped off the scale, it was definitely the sound. It was just, I mean, it was perfect, honestly.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Like I said, I mean, we tried our asses off in that film, so it's always good to hear that our effort paid off.
Oh yeah,
definitely. Yeah, definitely.
And I don't think we'll be the only ones to tell you that. Time will tell. Yeah.
No way.
So I did cut out the general synopsis of the movie. In 1986, a group of counselors gather at Camp Trustfall to prepare for the new summer. Soon after arriving, a killer wearing a devil mask begins killing them off one by one. Is this the boy from the camp legend, or is it someone else with an axe to grind? And I just wanted to ask real quick, before I have you introduce who came with you today, what made you want to make a camp slasher?
It's my favorite genre of horror, my favorite subgenre of horror. After Return of the Slash Nurse, like I said, I didn't want to make a sequel to that. So when I did, it's exhausting, because I do editing. I was doing sound mixing at the time too. So it's just, everyone else who does production, they film. It's still a long process, still a couple of months, but with me, it's a year long. It's a year from start to finish usually. So after I finished doing Curse, and then I did Return directly after that, I was kind of exhausted, and I was basically like, I'm either going to take a break, or the only way that I would want to do another one is if I could do what I really want to do. Budget be damned, because I never had budget before. I want to do a camp slasher, because I grew up with slasher films. I was born in the 80s. I raised in the 90s. All the great slashers were out, and I'd seen them all. And so a summer camp in the 80s, best place to have murders because it's secluded. You know, there's no cell phones back then. You cut one phone line and everyone's can't contact
Isolated.
anyone. You know,
Yeah.
you sabotage the vehicles and everyone's stranded. So that's what I really want to do. I always thought summer camps were awesome. So I decided that I was going to do a crowdfunder. I actually reached out, I contacted camps. I found a camp that was willing to let us film there. I found out how much it was going to cost. And I came up with a budget on how much it would cost to start making this film. And I was like, I'm doing it all or nothing. If I can raise the money to get this camp, we'll film it. If I can't, I'm taking a break. And I honestly didn't think that I was going to raise the money. And we did. And it was like, fuck, I got to make a movie now. So
It's a good problem to have.
yeah, it is.
Yeah. Did you already have the script ready to go? Something you had
No.
already put together? Oh, you had to
I had the ideas.
hurry up and do that.
Yeah, I had the ideas, but and I started writing it. Actually, by the time we crowdfunded, yeah, I did. But when I was coming up with that decision, I didn't have a script. But by March, I had a script, and I actually had written a pitch script, which was I took scenes from the script and kind of rewrote them a little bit. And we filmed at the camp one day to basically be kind of a teaser for what you would get so that we could use that with the crowdfunder. And we filmed that. When we got there, it was supposed to be summertime, but we had to film it in March and it fucking snowed.
Oh my God.
And we had all these outdoor scenes that we couldn't do. So we filmed all the scenes indoors. And then me and Owen came back like for an hour, like in April, and filmed some like scenic outside shots. And we pieced together, the trailer, and we screened the trailer for the first time at the premiere of Return of the Slasher Nurse. And then it premiered with our crowdfunder.
Wow.
Damn.
Sounds like you really thought that one out.
Yeah, no doubt.
And it
people
worked
don't
out for you.
understand what, and me and Clint can both attest to it after, talking with a bunch of people, before we get into to you introducing everybody, but just to let everybody know, these things are not easy to make. You got, even a trailer is money out of pocket because again, you gotta distribute it somehow to be, shown somewhere. And it's crazy, with what goes into doing an indie, I say an indie film, but indie horror, it's on another level. It's another beast outside of, just a indie film, just because, you have to have special effects without a shadow of a doubt. Like you have to have effects, that's guaranteed. You got to have a locale. You can't just, go in the basement and, film it. You got to have a location. And we've learned a lot from doing this podcast for, going on 4 months. And it's been enlightening to know, what goes into it. And I didn't think it was an easy process anyway. I don't think making a commercial is an easy process. So let alone a full-fledged movie. Off the bat, just thank you guys for coming on, and thank you guys for sharing the experience that you will. And, kudos to you and everybody that was involved, because you brought your A game, and it shows.
I appreciate that. Really do.
Yeah. You got a movie. So speaking of your movie, you brought some folks with you. Let me know who you got here and what they're doing for you.
Well, I got the best of the best today. Yeah, I brought all the good ones. We got Wayne. Wayne actually played Michael, and he is the best friend of the lead in Bloody Summer Camp. We also have Rita, who plays the camp finance director. And then we have Shonda, who plays the best friend of the lead character. Her character's name's Kimberly. We have Kay, who is the lead, the lead girl in the film. She plays Tiffany. We have Christian, which y'all know as Larry, the cook. We have Michael, who is not only Roger in the film, but he's also a producer. And Who else is on here? I can't remember. Bob's not
I
here.
think that's it, man.
Is that it?
That's
it.
everybody I can see.
Yeah, right. If
Okay.
anybody's out there that we can't see, chime in. If not,
Yeah.
keep going. That'd be fucking awkward. All of a sudden, somebody just, you know, throws their voice out there like, "Well, we can't see you, so I don't know. You weren't here."
Someone's mad that I forgot their name, so they're just gonna sit there in silence, just
Right.
be mad at me all.
This is what you get. You should have been on screen. Turn the camera on, damn it.
That's right.
You know, change your dynamic.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys were great. Me, Clint and Wayne talked before we got on mic, and you know, he was asking us like what our favorite character was, and I can't think of one that I, you know, other than Zach, just because he was a dickhead. You know, I can't really think of one that I didn't like, because Wayne smart dude when it comes to horror. He brought up something that was really doesn't happen in a lot of these, is that these characters got, you know, equal screen time. They were on screen, and you know, like he said, when you have these horror movies, especially camp slashers, they're, you know, the one that you can tell the most is we show the characters, we know who's going to die, like that, you know, that's he's expendable, that's your main character. In this one, you really didn't know who was the main character and who wasn't, and I think that was a testament to how you guys acted it out, you know, because I didn't hate anybody. I wasn't like, I really want that motherfucker to die by the end of this movie. I don't care who does it. I don't care if it's the killer. I want somebody to kill that person.
There's one exception to that rule about screen time and not being able to tell who was gonna get it real soon. And I would have to say that was the hitchhiker. I knew immediately.
Well, I mean, you know,
they weren't going to be around.
And then, you know, stop. Like, it's like automatically just, I would have stopped anyway. I've been like, that'd have been a red herring. Like, you stop and then cut the camera away. You don't know what happened to that person.
Yeah, if that was me, anyway. If that was me and I flipped them off and they stopped, I would have ran in the opposite direction.
It's like, oh, shit,
yeah,
we're done.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh shit, I pissed him off.
Yeah,
you know,
I have seen enough horror movies to know how this ends.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, it's just a great, and it's a great homage to, you know, the 80s horror, which is, you know, there's a lot of nods to a lot of characters. Dave Sheridan with the sheriff, he reminded me of like a prick Rick Grimes. That's what he reminded me of 1,000%.
Yeah, he was. I don't know if I'd call him lovable, but I'd call him like a little on the dumb side, and I'd say maybe pretty incompetent, and I'd say he just didn't want to do his job, and he just liked to get in people's faces and insult them, and he's one of the ones who dropped the most 80s references that I can think of in this whole movie.
Yeah, Danny Zuko. I was like, oh shit, there you go.
Yeah, those were all improv, and like the whole time he's doing it, we're trying to fact check, make sure is that time accurate? You know, because he's just like spitballing all this shit. Because I wrote the script, and he was like, you know, I was talking to him about it. He asked about the interrogation thing. I was like, he's like, I have an idea for he's like, I see in the script that there's a scene where it says I interrogate the counselors. He's like, I have some stuff I've been kind of coming up with. I've got some ideas I want to do. I was like, all right, well, I'll leave it vague and you can just run with it. And like everything that he said to them was he had already came up with on his own. So,
dude was brilliant. Dude's amazing.
That was pretty great.
Yeah, it was. I was like, this guy reminds me of just an asshole Rick Grimes. I don't even know why. Like
he actually. Have you ever seen Walking Deceased?
Oh yeah, it's the parody of it, right?
Yeah, that's him as the Rick Grimes. Yeah.
That was inspiration without a doubt.
He was the best. He was the best part of that film. I thought it was fucking hilarious. There's a couple nods to his films too.
I gotta write it down now.
His the glasses that he wears in the film, he brought those. Those are actually the same sunglasses that he wears in Devil's Rejects.
Oh wow.
And we also have a pair of nunchucks hanging up in his truck. That's a nod to Ghost World, where his character is like this, like redneck with a mullet who's got nunchucks. So
That's man, it's just
That's cool.
I love the Easter eggs that show up in it. But
Yeah.
it's just man, it's God, it's just I love this movie. I really do. I'm and Camp Slasher is not my I guess it is. Friday 13th is definitely like,
What are you talking about?
yeah, no, right. Friday 13th is like top
You're all
echelon
over
for me.
those.
Yeah, no. We actually did one of our hangouts with Camp Slasher. So yeah, I guess it is my favorite
yeah.
one. That shark movies.
And I probably brought up about 3 Felissa Rose movies. So it's
3.
it's awesome.
30. 30. You got the 3 wrong.
I
30.
said 3.
You said
Maybe you
30.
brought up more, but
No,
anyhow.
and it's and I love that you got her in it of all people. And obviously, she's definitely a good asset to have, being she was in sleepaway camp. And that's really awesome that you got her on set. But again, I want to talk about the people that are here, and I got to talk about, first of all, I got to talk about Christian down there. He's the only one drinking a brewski, or he's drinking a mixed drink. Nobody else is oh shit, you just popped open the course. So I'm gonna start with him because he was almost, other than the asshole that just got up and walked away, who I was gonna reference. Larry, I mean, show stealer almost. All I know is don't come into his kitchen and talk that shit. So I want to know about Larry.
Almost. Larry is everybody's favorite motherfucker.
I'm not worthy.
Dude, no offense, but Jesus Christ, you might be the worst cook I've ever seen in my life. I mean, holy shit. Your kitchen habits are terrible.
You weren't even on set to smell it, dude. Like, you have no idea what that smelled like going into those scenes.
I wasn't even talking about the food. I was just
I know I saw the food and was like, God damn, that I know that's gotta stink. But I didn't really think about it until you said it. I'm like, God almighty, that's like scrapple, like just fucking bound around like 12
First
times.
off, there's nothing wrong with scrapple.
I love scrapple without a doubt, but if scrapple
Not
looks
at
like
all.
that, there's a problem.
Yeah,
That's scrapple.
Part of me likes to think that is that Larry is feeding us the same stuff that he ate in Nam. It's just like this borderline like fucking dog food. He's like, I gotta get these shits. You do too.
There's a whole back room and MREs in it or something.
Yeah, right. Just ground
they're
up
all
and
followed by
blend
like
it up.
15 years.
And pots with mysterious liquids in them.
Go alphabetize the soup cans.
I love that.
Go stir up my mayonnaise.
Stir my mayonnaise. Like,
I'll stir up your mayonnaise for you.
I was
You
like,
did stir my mayonnaise, Wayne. More than one.
man, I was like, that's such a segue to something else. Like, go stir my mayonnaise, and then it's like couple scenes later, he's just like got the bucket right there. It's like, oh boy, did somebody stir the mayonnaise? Because I think Larry's really doing it.
That was Larry's special sauce.
I was about to say that, Wayne.
Special sauce. You want that, you little bastards? Like, God, Jesus. But no,
Christian,
So,
you want to tell them how many people saw your ass during filming?
I got photos. I got pictures.
I mean, well, literally everybody, the entire cast and crew. Owen was probably the most up close and personal.
Owen saw your balls.
Well, my balls have been seen in horror conventions for the last decade. There's not a lot of people left that haven't seen my balls. There will be even less after everybody else sees the movie.
man, see this. I need special features. This is the special features we need on Blu-rays. Because I'm telling you what, if you put out there like $100 version of a Blu-ray and it said exclusive clip of seeing Larry's balls, first of all, I'm contributing without a doubt. Second of all, Clint's contributing, and I'm like, that's it. $200, bam, off the bat, just to see Larry's balls. I don't even give a shit about the movie at that point. Let me go ahead and get on the second DVD, second Blu-ray, and see these balls. And then we're done.
That's like some Fight Club shit.
I'll stand up and
It
show
is.
you
It's
my
like Fight Club shit. Exactly. Like,
You need to
fuck
make
the
it like
movie.
one of those like Easter eggs. Like if you look at like House of a Thousand Corpses, like Rob Zombie would always throw Easter eggs into his like title menus, and you had to like wait, an hour to get like a special scene.
Yeah,
That's what we
yeah.
see with Larry's balls.
That's
Yeah,
what-
there's
that's-
special
You can
scenes.
paint Larry's balls like they are Easter eggs.
So
Yeah, that's
in all
fucking
seriousness, was there any type of inspiration that you used to put that character together? Is there any particular thing that you were really going for with that, or was it just like
It was it was based more off of conversations that I had with Dave about who Larry was, that he wanted him to just be this kind of drunk, high waste of a person who was just like a goof 1 second and the next minute loses temper and ready to rip somebody's head off. And I was thinking about my age. I was thinking about the time frame for the movie, and I was like, you know what? I think Larry's a Vietnam vet. Larry was out in Vietnam. He lost a couple screws out there, came back and got heavy in a drug use, and he's just the last person you want involved in your kid's summer camp. And there he is making food for little bastards that he can't stand. And all he wants to do is get high and get laid. So, I mean, basically, he's me, just in the 80s in the summer camp.
And a lot more douchier.
Oh, thank you.
We love you, Kristen.
Oh, and I love you guys.
Stab. Damn.
those were
It really
those
is.
were really good decisions, and they really came through. So I mean, I think I got that. Everything you said, I mean, like that shined through like really hard. I mean,
Awesome.
Yeah, dude, you were
it
phenomenal.
came across well.
Yeah, you hit you hit that next level when it comes to that. Just reminded me a lot of the cook that was in Sleepaway Camp, just like amped up to fucking 25.
Yeah, there was definitely some thought about that too. But the thing is, being with this crew, with this cast, this is the second movie that I did with these guys, and it's just such a comfortable environment. And Dave gives everybody the creative reign to kind of do what you feel is right. So you feel your character, you play your character, and it becomes a true collaboration. So it's a testament to the way Dave runs the film sets and the way everybody just gets along and plays off each other. I mean, it's corny to say it, but we are like a family. We get together, we hang out, we spend time together. We genuinely care about each other, and we care about the product that we're making. So we want to do whatever we have to do to make this thing as good as it can be.
Well, let me interrupt on that one. Sorry, but no, that's not corny. I love the fact that there's camaraderie. There's family traits there that you guys think, because it's a lot of that's lost on these other movies, where people just don't give a fuck. They just don't care. They're like, let's make the movie. We got our funding. Let's make the movie, and let's move on and do something else. To hear you say that and to see it in the movie as well, because again, the gelling and the camaraderie that you see in the movie, it's unparalleled. I mean, it really is. Like, you can tell you guys are tight knit. You guys are well directed. You guys, know what you're doing. And that's the big thing, is that, like you said, Dave gives you creative, decisions with your characters, and you can tell it's like, you're not pinned down. You're not shackled down. Hey, I'm going to say this, or I'm going to do this. And Dave's probably going to say, yeah, go ahead and do it. And that's and me and Clint, that's the difference that we've seen with these indie directors, is that you're not shackled down like you would be in like a big budget, horror movie. Like, this is how you're going to do it. This is how I want you to do it. And I
knew when we were doing Return of the Slasher Nurse, I knew this was my family, and I was going to make movies with these guys forever. When Dave let me walk around putting peanut butter on my nipples and calling for the dog, I knew that this was my place and I belonged.
And folks, that is our interview with the cast of Bloody Summer Camp. Y'all have a good night. We're going to go ahead and end this.
We talked about my balls and my nipples.
I mean, at this, you know what, guys? I'm sorry that I went to Christian. I mean, goddamn, I didn't know it was good. That's a hard act to follow. If somebody else beats that, I don't want to know how. I really don't. Unless you say you're in the woods fucking a tree. I don't know what else you're going to say. Because
I will say that Wayne can probably top Christian with that one, as far as what he what his character was in that same movie, Return. But
See, it's funny you said that because these guys are already educated on some of that. I was like, let me tell you what I'm willing to do for these people. It's 12 inches. And you can stick it to your fridge.
hey, no, that was 18 inches, buddy.
Yeah, we
It
got
sure
that.
was.
We got that
How
off,
did you
Mike.
use it?
And now we got like a little bit of added inches there, which is
Bro.
even more.
I mean, it's even better. Like some other time, we'll like I'll give you guys like the breakdown of like how that scene played out because like we're still thinking back. Like, man, you got to be good with these people if you film a scene like that.
No,
And
I'm pretty sure
especially
I'm pretty sure that's the first conversation you and I ever had the day of the reading. Like I was like, he's like, let me show you this scene from the previous
I did.
film.
I was like, let me show you the
And
scene that I'm
it was
really
like,
proud
we
of.
literally, he said, hi, I'm Wayne. Let me show you this scene. And I was just like, okay.
I remember we actually premiered that scene at a Halloween party, and we filmed the reaction, and I have it of like everyone's watching this scene. They're just like, okay, and they're like the horror hits their face and their fucking mouths drop.
They were like, when we did the theater, like they were like gasped, like people like legitimately fucking gasped. But then you've got Christian's character. He's throwing lines out there, and like his shit's really funny, and like we try to throw some gags in there as well. And it goes from like horror to like fucking my watching. Like it's like watching like a Jackass movie. You're not sure whether to like turn away or continue watching. That's kind of what it felt like.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of sex in Return.
Yes.
There was a lot of sex.
Well, thank you, Rita. If you're going to break into this conversation, thank you for saying that. She went all quiet. She's like, there's a lot of sex in
I
this
had
movie.
my fair share in Return.
There was a quota, and like Dave had to get the quota. There's got to be at least like
there
so
has
many
to be
breasts.
14 pairs of 14 tits, 7 pairs of tits in the film.
Well, there was 2 pairs of tits in my sex scene.
Yeah.
Clint, write this down.
We actually cut.
It's recorded. I'll go back later.
That's true.
In the final version, we have an extended cut. We actually cut like 2 out of the film because we had.
Let me guess. 2 of those were Christians. I guarantee you.
With the peanut
Why
butter.
anybody would cut that out, I have no fucking idea. I'd leave that shit. That's on the extended producer's cut.
Yeah, we saw Christian's
Got
ass,
that
but
copy.
it didn't make it on screen until Bloody Summer Camp.
Need that copy, Wayne. I need you to Google Drive, man. I'll give
I'll
you
talk
that
to you.
now. Gotta have it.
It is a
Um,
fantastic ass, though, for everybody who's wondering. Great A prime.
Well, I guess we will. How am I going to not have Rita talk now that she's she's already.
Yeah, you gotta
said she's-
chime in like that. Save
Yeah,
us.
Well, come on, Miss.
Well, I
Miss
can't
Victoria?
say much about my character. I'm not allowed.
I got you.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Kind of sucks. I mean, I like Victoria. She was cool as shit.
She was.
I mean,
She
she just
was
gets
an
rolled up
awesome
on like, hey,
character
it's
to
you.
play. You know?
And she had a very happy ending. I'm so glad that she ended up with that guy and they,
Yeah,
worked out the
yeah.
relationship.
Yeah.
And,
They rode
Yeah.
off into the sunset.
yeah.
It was
I'll tell you,
beautiful.
pushing that wheelchair up the hill killed me in the heat.
She gave us the gift that keeps on giving, a cripple.
Did you lean down and tell him, help me a little bit? You know?
Come on, motherfucker.
How many times
It's
did I
funny
have to
'cause, like,
push it?
Everyone's sitting there just like watching her like push this like 200-pound guy up a hill in a wheelchair, and like nobody budged. Like
Yeah,
that's
they
the
just-
funny part about this cast, because they were just like, fuck is
Oh,
that?
let's watch her.
Like,
She's got it. She's got it.
Yeah. They weren't breaking character. Everyone hated each
Nope.
other.
That's fine. Yeah, I
That
think-
scene was actually filmed over the course of like a year.
Yeah.
Like we
Yeah.
filmed it like 3 or 4 different times. We had to film it. And we started filming that scene in September 2019. And then I think we did the final scene of Rita pushing Donnie in July or August 2020.
I
So
mean,
that scene
that
was cut
hill
together.
and that wheelchair, that's like the amount of time. So basically, it was just
Right,
her
it
going
took
up
me
the
that
fucking hill.
long to get him up
Yeah,
the
the whole
hill.
time. So I mean, it makes perfect sense. Makes absolute sense, and that's what sucks so much about.
Did you
How
mark the
COVID
ground? This is where we stopped last time
Yeah,
we
right.
filmed.
Like here's
so
the X.
start from
Like
there.
mark it, chalk it off. And I've actually had this one on my radar for a long time. And you saying, with COVID, I mean, I know COVID derailed like 90% of these indie horror movies that came out. And it sucks because, we go through IMDb just to get the tip of the iceberg to find out about you guys. And it still says, Bloody Summer Camp was 2020, and now we're in 2022, and it sucks because I was waiting for it back then. I'm like, man, this is just like the ultimate homage to 80 slashers. Where's it at? I kept searching, looking for it. I'm like, it's not fucking out. It can't be out because I've looked everywhere.
Yeah.
And all I could find was a trailer. I'm like, well, fuck this trailer because now I want to see it even more. So I'm just waiting. And then, tonight when I was like, man, there's nowhere to watch this, is it? And Dave was absolutely gracious enough to send it. And I was just absolutely blown the fuck away. And, I'm just so happy that it got to come out. And I'm so happy that you guys, were involved in it because, great crew. And it's just so much fun. And honestly, just talking to you guys, it's just hilarious, talking about pushing somebody up a fucking hill, people's peanut butter nipples, which should be the name of a Girl Scout cookie. But I mean, it's just a good crew. And damn, I'm really, really heartbroken that you can't talk more about your character.
Yeah.
Well, I
That's
mean,
all
I
right.
had a blast doing it. I had fun doing all the stunts.
Well,
Yeah.
hell yeah. That was
Yeah,
fantastic.
Rita's
Stunts.
stunt scene
Yeah.
was actually done.
Yeah, jumping onto the back of the horse, riding off into the sunset.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. That stunt scene was actually done like that shot was one continuous shot of
Oh God.
Owen doing a POV shot, and Michael was one of the hands that you saw, and then my wife Amber, she was one of the other hands. We actually have behind the scenes footage of filming, of showing the scene, being filmed, and it was pretty creative, how we went about it. It also was very messy.
Oh, no
Yes.
doubt. I mean,
Yeah.
Yes, and I had my brother-in-law's wedding to go to after we were done filming that scene.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh.
Remember.
Well,
I hope you wore red.
Yeah.
No,
our-
actually, I
our-
wore green, but
our was, like, oh shit, that fire
It's
extinguisher
festive.
is
It's like
fuck.
Christmas.
Right.
I was
Well-
all nice and clean.
Oh, absolutely. I was figuring
Yeah.
you still have like, a little bit of blood underneath your eyelid or somewhere fucking weird like that. Like, oh God, I can't get there. Mike, I gotta talk to you because
take blood out of horrendous places.
you, sir, have a reason for that. Because you're man, fuck. Can't Christian's like the all-star. Can I put a star next to him or something? Let's see what my options are in Zoom. I don't know what I can do. I can spotlight. No, I'm not gonna do that. No, that was insanity. Just the bucket and everything is like, fuck yeah. you
Christian
definitely-
was a trooper too, because he had to travel to Pennsylvania to get a mold casting of his head.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what the hell's wrong with Pennsylvania?
Yeah,
no,
that's
no,
what
he's
I'm
from
saying.
he's from
Jesus
Jersey. and
fucking
he had to go to
okay.
Pennsylvania to get
Fucking
his
Jersey.
head cast.
Territoriality right there. Fuck,
And then
There's some good things
his-
in Jersey.
his beard got stuck in the fucking yeah.
In the
It was
mold.
absolutely fucking horrible, and it lasted it took about 2 hours to get that shit off.
Oh God.
well, fuck God, again, guys.
Well, the head
this-
looked good.
Oh, it looked great. It's been Bloody Summer Camp
Because
interview.
you should see the mold in my balls. That's the real one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm wondering if maybe I have. Like every time I see one of those trucks go down the road with a set of balls dangling
Yeah,
off the
that's-
trailer hitch. Is that you?
That's yours. That's
No,
your mold
those are-
for your balls.
Is it too small?
Oh, okay.
Those are too small. You gotta have
Inspired
basketballs
by it.
dragging the
Gotcha.
ground, fucking sparking up. See, that's a perk. See, Dave, next, if you do a sequel to this, which you're going to, That's got to be a perk. Like a cast of Christian
Christian's
Jensen's
balls.
balls.
Yeah.
It's like $500, man. Fuck, I'm in. I swear to God, that's going on the fucking group. And people, I will tell people, this man's balls are so big, it's worth $500. You understand this? Y'all got to understand it. We talk to him, we understand. We have
Dave,
inside. We have inside track.
Put me on this thing today.
Or I'll just send you $500. Fuck it. You ain't got to go to that. Hey, go back to wherever you were and just get your balls cast and send them to me. Bam.
Yeah,
Anyway.
let's hope his hair don't get stuck in it again.
God damn
This is
it.
the hair I'm worried about, the beard hair.
Yeah, the beard is definitely.
The
phew,
ball,
that
the
thing's
ball hair. I
fucked.
mean, that saves me. I don't have to shave them then.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, waxing it up to blink.
Yeah.
Speaking of hair, so you don't have to wear it too much longer. Let's go to Mr. Roger down there.
That is his
Jesus.
real hair.
I wouldn't be
Totally.
surprised.
My God.
And you got your dogs to keep you company too. So your character, how in the fuck did you come up with that? Was that just off the wall, or was that your, I don't know, is that Dave's direction, or how did that come about?
Funny enough, I started off with being a perk buyer to be killed in the film, and Dave actually said, "Hey, I see you don't live that far from me. You want to come over and meet up, and I can get to know you a little bit?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And then we met off pretty well, and he goes, "Hey, we're actually doing our return /your a cast party tonight. Why don't you call him on by and meet him, because you're gonna be working with some of them, and I think it'd be great for you to meet them all." Yeah, that sounds great. And I just started to get all of them. I got to know everyone. And then next thing I know, Dave's like, "All right, well, I got this character in mind for you. I think it's going to be great. Let's just see what you can do with it." And then I went to the script reading, and I actually did that Roger character. And when I did my very first lines, which was, "Oh my God, so many new faces. How exciting." Everyone just started dying laughing in the script reading. And this is my very first film, so I had a big complex going. It's like, I just looked at Dave like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Did I mess up?" And Dave's like, no. You're doing great. Keep going. Just keep going. And then from there, I just kind of mowed a little bit more. And I obviously used Shaggy from Scooby-Doo as a little bit of my inspiration.
Yep.
Yeah. When I met Michael, it was a little hard to write a character for Michael at first, because I didn't know anything about him. So once I met him, and man, he was just like high energy, just this really fucking nice guy, just super, super, super nice. And he was like the exact opposite of how I'd written Felissa in the script. And so I was like, all right, I got the perfect character for you. I was like, you're a nice guy. You've got a lot of energy. We're going to use that. I'm going to write you as like the counter to Felissa's character. You're going to be like the pain in her ass, because she's really bitter, and you're just this fucking really nice, happy guy that's always getting on her fucking nerves because how happy you are. And so I wrote the character, and then at the script reading, when he started doing that high pitched fucking voice, like that came out of nowhere. And like I said, we'd only met a couple times, and he was really energetic. But I didn't know that he was going to be doing that high-pitched voice, and no one else knew either. When he did, man, we just fucking lost it. It's like, that's fucking perfect. Keep doing that. And then Michael's hair was a little bit too modern for the time period. So we had some wigs that we had bought for the Pitts trailer, and we were just trying on wigs, putting them on his head, seeing what they look like. And we stuck that one on. And it's like, there it is. That's it.
Fucking brilliant.
That's the wig. But
Brilliant.
yeah,
That
so I mean, I did write the part inspired by Michael, but man, he added a lot to it that I had no idea that was going to, and it just made the character so much fucking better.
Yeah. If that was your first film, brother, you couldn't tell. It was like you were a seasoned veteran.
Yeah,
Like,
dude, you nailed it. I mean, that
you
was
fucking absolutely crushed.
that was a highlight. I mean, seeing your character pop up and behave like that. I really I even like the exchange, where you were sent out to retrieve one of the other counselors to come back in to talk to somebody else, and he was not very nice to you.
That's actually probably one of my scenes of it. Funny thing is, we actually filmed that once before, and all he did was just give me a shoulder bump and kind of just turn me around. Fortunately, and I say fortunately because we ended up getting, I think it was like we were getting bad reflections off the lake, and it didn't do the shot good, so we had to go back and do it again. And the jock, Matthew Sharp, like him and I became really good buddies. We were talking, and I was like, you know what? You would just be so 80s cliche is if you just knock me right into the lake. And then I went to Dave, like, Dave, can Matt throw me in the lake? And Dave's like, yeah, I like that idea a lot. Oh, you mean on film? Yeah, I guess we can do that too.
That's awesome.
And then we did that scene, and I absolutely loved it. I thought it was perfect. And
then I randomly threw the fucking oar or the fucking lifesaver out to him.
It was a great scene. It was amazing. I'm like, man, and again, that's the chemistry that you guys have that is kind of,
and unrelated to the movie, Michael. I did end up just the other day seeing what looked like a runway model to music shoot that you were doing.
I was
pretty priceless.
I was so excited about this film. Like, I really thought when I did this film, like, it's so one and done. I did theater in high school and stuff, but after that, I got really into martial arts. I actually did cage fighting for a while. I suffered an injury and I couldn't do it anymore. And my wife's like, well, what do you want to do? I was like, I don't know. And then I saw about the Bloody Summer Camp. I was like, I love indie horror. I love horror movies. This would be great to go on my my bucket list. I can go back and say, hey, I was in a film. And then after I meet all the cast and the crew, they were just so amazing. Like, even first day when Christian came on, Dave actually pulled me off to the side. He goes, all right, Mike, I know this is your first time being here and being with us. I'm going to warn you, this guy Christian, he's crazy. More likely, you're going to probably see his ass. There's a good chance you're going to see his balls. And I think it was like within the first 3 minutes of meeting Christian, I saw his balls. And Chris is like, so any thoughts on this? I'm like, actually, the spear around them are actually quite well done, man. Kudos.
I
Chris
need that.
goes,
I need that.
Chris like,
a job interview.
Yeah. And Chris like, oh yeah, you're gonna fit just fine over here.
And his hands were so warm when he cupped them and massaged them. I was very impressed.
How can you not?
Oh man, I don't even know what to say, because all I'm thinking now is that my next job interview like that is like, boss, look, can you tell me in the next 5 minutes if you hire me, I'm gonna see your balls? Because if so, we're gonna get along great. If you don't show me your balls, then I'm gonna go ahead and quit and put my 2 weeks in, and I'm not even gonna work here a week. So, what are we gonna do? That's fucking fantastic. That's God, Jesus. See, and this is the thing that blows us away, is that you guys have so much fun like doing what you do, and I think it permeates onto the set. Like, if you guys have fun outside of acting and outside of filming, it just makes everything 1,000 times easier, 1,000 times better. And when you have a director that lets you do that, again, it adds to the element of, hey, I don't have to worry about being a prudish dickhead. I can just do what I want to do, and I'm not gonna get reprimanded for it. And again, I know, especially with you guys, Dave, you guys have a absolutely brutal schedule either way. Like, you don't get a year to shoot a film, something like this. It's like, just saying, 21, 22, maybe a month to shoot this on a budget that you guys get. And people don't understand that. And it's just, again, it's just kudos to you with how you guys do it.
Yeah, filming is already a brutal thing, especially with the low budget and with the restricted time frame. It's already just kind of like brutal. It's hectic. It's very hectic. So if you're not being able to have fun on set when you can, it'd be miserable.
Yeah.
The only way that you can really tolerate it on set is being able to be around a group of people that you like. I try to surround myself with people that I like. because if I'm around someone who's testing my patience and just, not working well with other people, well, that just makes the whole process more, more difficult, makes it feel more like work. We all work 40 hours a week and then we film. So we don't want to go and film and feel like, we're back at work. So it's awesome when you have people that you can have fun with and you enjoy being around them and you can goof off, and, just get along with everyone. So
no, I mean, it makes for, and even your 40-hour job, there's, if there's people there you can't get along with, it makes it miserable too.
It makes it worse.
So, Kay,
Wayne keeps dropping out,
go.
and I keep thinking that he's going to come back with that big bushy wig on, that he wore in the film. It's kind of weird to see without hair, and
We burned that thing. It's
Okay.
dead. There's probably like a horror film somewhere where that thing like comes back to life and like seeks revenge.
Do you have a supply closet nearby? You can go grab a mop or something. This is really awkward.
Pop it on.
Could be the next Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
And
sorry,
I will say this too before we move on from Mike. You may not have seen the last of Roger. So you may be.
I would hope not.
I can't say anything more about it.
Are you saying he's part of the family now? That he's going to be in possibly future productions with you?
I'm just saying, Roger might appear again at some point somewhere.
You smirky fuck. You should. Absolutely should. I mean, and before we get to Kay, this was another thing after you saying that. I love the fact that these indie movies can interlace between each other. You can bring a character in, like if you want to bring Larry into one of your later films, you can get away with that. Roger in another film, you can get away with that. And that's just some shit that does not happen with these Hollywood movies.
All of my films currently all of my films take place in the same world. There's a connection to almost every single film in the film. There's a connection to Return of the Slash Nurse and Bloody Summer Camp. There's a connection to Go Away. There's a connection to Bloody Summer Camp. So all of my films exist in the same spot. So you might see Roger again somewhere and somehow.
That's pretty cool. We have an appreciation for that, with multiple movies, basically in the same timeline that interconnect, that's really cool. And I think it's neat that you're trying to do that.
I'm just going to let Mike know that yay that you just pulled, I just recorded that on my soundboard. So, in other interviews, and I'm going to play that back, and it's going to be the most amazing fucking thing ever. And I'll make sure you get like 50 cents or something, $1 every time I do it. Like, Mike's got to get paid for that because it was amazing.
TikTok, here I come.
That's right, baby. Your next TikTok star. All right. So, Kay, the main female lead in here. How did you get involved with the project?
Actually, Facebook. Interestingly enough, I get a lot of my work off of like actors' pages and casting pages on Facebook. So I saw Dave post for, a part, and it was like when I first started doing film after grad school, it was one of the first auditions that I sent in. And I had a friend of mine read for the other character. And turns out that friend of mine is also in Bloody Summer Camp. So I don't know if he went back and put his own audition in or what happened, but so I sent my audition in and I went from there.
That's awesome.
I'd reached out to Zach, and apparently because the way Facebook was, I wasn't his friend, and so he didn't see my message for like a week because he had responded to one of my casting calls on one of the sites, and then he's like, I saw a message to him and I never heard back. And then I saw him in your casting video. I was like, that's that guy. And then like he hit me up like a couple days later. He finally seen the message.
Well,
Yeah.
damn, that's a hell of a way to find out, hey, I want to be in this movie. Can you cast me? And oh, sorry, I didn't get that message. Sorry. Damn. Everybody should be friends on Facebook. As soon as you get a friend request, except no, please, God, don't do that. Please don't do that. No, you were fantastic as Tiffany. Great.
you.
Just like I said, and that's the thing is with like the way that these characters, just act on screen. I mean, you acted like you never shied away from a camera before. You just ready to jump in, and I guess Kim had a lot to do with that, being your BFF. So
Yeah.
it was you guys' chemistry was great. It was, like,
Yeah,
are you
that was
guys
really
best
cool.
friends?
Yeah, that you kind of like played more of like the straight behaved, like person who didn't want to do anything wrong or hurt anybody, or I mean, hell, you didn't want to drive away with free gas. So I mean, and of course you got a party friend over here, who's is kind of like the devil on your shoulder, telling you, "Hey, don't worry about it.
Take those sodas.
Yeah.
I'll work out. Let's go find some weed." You know what I mean?
Yeah, we actually met during Shonda and I met during the table read, and
Okay.
we're like yeah.
Yep.
And yeah, it was really great. We got really close over that process, and luckily I've been able to be in at least 2 other projects with her since then, hopefully way more. But yeah, it's like she's like one of my favorites in real life. Don't tell Zach Taylor.
Nah, we won't. Yeah, I mean, that's, like I said, the chemistry was fantastic with Shonda. And speaking of which, I guess we'll let her talk. Shonda, how are you on this film? You did phenomenal. You were hilarious.
Thank you.
Give me weed and I'll give you head is pretty much what I was like. All right, well,
Yeah.
we know what your mindset is. So, got to help me, I'll help you. And
if we ever hang out, we'll make sure you never run out of weed. Okay.
Thank you.
without
Just putting it out there now.
That was like the one motivation for the entire movie. Get Kimberly weed so someone's getting
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully, preferably me, but
Oh, there you go.
I was a simple woman, man. That's all I wanted.
That's what was so hilarious about it. It was like, I just need weed, and then we can do whatever. Like,
Only Jonesing, man.
damn, dude, come on now. I'm like rooting for Mike the whole time. Like, come on, brother.
we're like goddamn dry seasons over here.
Yeah, you go talk to Matt Burns, skunking like, well, I can't get it to you till the next night. Like, I'm just like, this guy can't fucking win. He pays for the weed and everything. He can't win. Like, he just wants a little bit and he can't get anything. It's like, God, Jesus, I feel so sorry for the guy.
Well, and since it never happened, it is possible that your character was more or less just using it as motivation to get free drugs.
You think? What gives you that idea?
I don't know.
I mean, free drugs. But yeah, I mean, you and Tiffany's character were just like, almost just thinking the same mind. It was just so hilarious, on different ends of the spectrum. It was just like, yeah, man, it was great. It was awesome. And and again, I think, you guys just get closer and closer as you work together. And like you said, Kay said you're one of her favorite people and want to work on other projects.
She's one of mine too.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I think
Pinky
that's kind
promise.
of, I think that's something everybody here agrees on. And it's fantastic. Like I said, just having this small group of people is just cool because, you actually get to know you guys. And that's something that me and Clint really love to do is, we've had a pretty big interview and we got to meet them and talk to people, but it wasn't like we didn't really have time to, bounce around like here. And we don't want to take up too much of you guys' time. It's, Saturday night. But it's fantastic to get to do this. Do you have time? Okay. Well, guess what? Everybody else get off and she can stay on for an extra 4 hours.
This is my only
Hang for a
date
bit.
tonight.
Oh, well. But no, I mean, Just the female leads in this, with Kay and Shonda was just great. Like, it was just the gelling was there. You could tell as soon as you guys were in the car together, and it was like, damn, like these guys have definitely done their homework together, and it's fantastic.
Yeah,
Well, that hot car was
Oh,
an experience in itself.
Yeah.
After we spent like almost a full day on the hottest day of the year in that car. We couldn't roll
With
down
the
the
windows
windows because of sound, and there was no AC. Like,
no,
it
there
literally
was AC, but we couldn't run it. We couldn't run it because of the
Okay.
sound.
Well, I got
So-
no AC.
Yeah.
Damn.
And when we finished that day, I messaged the group and I was like, I think we have to rename this movie like Curse of the Killer Hot Car, because we almost died.
Yeah, that was definitely one of the worst filming days because, like I said, it was hot as hell. And
Yeah.
this car didn't have any hubcaps, and the age of the car is supposed to be like a brand new car. So I had to buy hubcaps on like eBay for the car. I could only get 2. And so I put 2 hubcaps on one side of the car for the shot of the car. Here's the thing though, you have to take the way it was, you had to take the fucking lugs off of the wheel to put the fucking hubcap on.
What the
And
fuck?
if I had have bought all 4, I would have left the fucking things on the car and said, congratulations, have fun. But
You got 4
because
fucking
it was
hubcaps.
only 2 hubcaps, I had to take them back off because I know they would have been like, why the fuck are there only 2 hubcaps on our car? So after being in that car in the back seat in the fucking heat, the blanket over top of me doing
Like, they got
sound,
the worst though.
Oh my god!
The
Holy
blanket over.
shit!
we had another scene to film in a different location. We had to film the opening with Chris and Rowan. So I had to fucking get out and I had to rush to take the hubcaps off in the fucking heat. I almost had a heat stroke. By the time we got to the other scene, I was about to fuck it. I'm not doing it because I was so hot.
God.
It was terrible.
Man,
But yeah,
that was a long day.
the
Take
way
a
you
hubcap
suffer
off
for your
and-
craft. Well,
Yeah.
good on you.
Yeah, no,
I'm
again,
glad it worked
kudos.
out.
No shit. God, thank God you're on this interview. You could have died.
I know.
But yeah, Shonda and Kay were both great. They were both two strong leads. I felt like both Kay and Shonda, both of their characters could have led this movie because both of their characters were so fucking, to me, they were awesome. People, whichever one had made it to the end, I think people would have been happy because they were both fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And Kay actually took on an even bigger load because of some rewrites that we had to do. The end scene became a lot more physical for her than it was originally intended to be.
Yeah,
It
no doubt.
actually worked out a lot because it really helped her character and the empowerment of her character being able to handle things herself.
Yeah, that was my favorite scene to shoot though.
Yeah.
In the whole movie, favorite scene.
So yeah, we were fortunate that it did end up like that. That's not how it was supposed to end up, but it added to it. I felt like it made her character a whole lot more memorable.
Sure.
Yeah.
No,
And Kay was a trooper. Kay fucking, we had a mat and like, Kay, do you want this? I'm not worried about that. And we
safety?
ran
What
through it.
safety?
yeah, right.
We ran through it and she nailed it. And when we were filming it, we knew that we were doing right because when we were seeing it, how it was playing out with her character at the end, it looked so good on screen. I was totally happy with how that end scene turned out.
And I honestly, I kept finding random bruises all over me, throughout that next week. I was like, where did this come from? It was hilarious.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Yep. And I had just made an observation a little while ago, basically before we started, and I wanted to ask a real quick question. Was the Indiegogo was part of that, naming characters in the movies after people who had contributed to the film? Because I see some reoccurring names here, Constanza, is one of the names.
George Costanza.
No.
Alexandria Costanza.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fedora,
Was
yeah.
one of the backers also a name for a character in the film, and Deputy Sidaura or
Fedora.
Sidora. Is that what it is? Oh, that's right.
Something like
Sidora.
that.
I'm sorry.
It's all right, Clint. You can fuck it up. You fucked it up in the movie, and they had to correct him. You're all right.
So both Alexandria Costanza and Mark Sidora are both huge contributors to our films. We love them, and they both films that we've done, they've contributed to have their name in it. And that was actually one of the other reasons why we had to refilm that dock scene with Michael. With Roger, Michael playing Roger, and Matt as Zach, was because originally Matt said, "Why don't you get Todd or Kevin to do it?" Because Wayne's character was originally named Kevin when we filmed the original scene in September, but we had another crowdfunder because in September we'd only filmed the lake scenes because we had to get those done while the lake was still a decent temperature. And so we had another crowdfunder. We ended up selling Wayne's name, and ended up being Michael DeTuris. So we had to refilm it anyways because he had said Kevin instead of Michael.
How many times did people call you Kevin after that?
When the name change first happened, like there were a couple of times where like we'd slip up and we'd be like, "God damn it, Kevin!" And I'm like, "Oh shit, I mean Michael."
Yeah.
And so like for a couple of weeks, we would fuck it up because it was so fresh, and we're like, "God damn it, I'm Michael, not Kevin."
I know Bob had the wrong script. Still had an old script, and he had called you Kevin a couple of times.
Yeah, he did.
But yeah,
that's and again, that's what really sucks about these is that the transformation. Like I've seen, these scripts. People have said they've changed, 2, 3, 4 times, and it really throws a kink in it because like that, hey, a name change, and again, the limited time
like
that you have.
That ending scene, that was rewritten. The campfire scene was rewritten too. Originally, Cody's character Todd, he didn't leave the campfire. Originally, he stayed the entire time. And that second half of the campfire where Tiffany's talking to Donnie, she was actually still talking to Todd. And so that's why when she went to leave, that's why Donnie's character said, "Oh, you're leaving," but we barely got to hang out because she was actually hanging out with Todd. And then the interaction, the conflict between the bully, Zach, and Wayne's character, that was actually supposed to be mainly Todd who was having the interaction. Wayne's character was there, but it was more so Todd that was arguing with Zach. But we had to rewrite that, and I think it turned out a lot better because I feel like giving Donnie that little talk with Tiffany, I felt like that actually helped the story better than it would have if she was still talking to Todd.
I agree. And that was the cool thing about those two characters is that, the love interest, you kind of went back and forth. It was kind of a thing like, well, does she like Donnie? Does she like Todd? And I thought that was really cool, because it was just a dynamic that, usually doesn't happen a lot. Like you either get one or the other, but you're just kind of bouncing back and it was cool to see that dynamic. So yeah, I thought made a good choice there.
And one little Easter egg I want to point out about that, like you said, the kind of love triangle where you got Todd, talking to Tiffany, and also you got Donnie, who's kind of obviously got his eyes on Tiffany. That scene where Todd comes into the cafeteria and he's talking to Tiffany about his ex-girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's eyes are on Todd and Tiffany.
Mm-hmm.
Even me, I miss it all the fucking time, and I'm the one who told him to do it. But you always pay attention to who's talking. But if you look at Donnie, he's actually like trying to suck his stomach in and looking at it, trying to like make his arms and the muscles the whole time that Todd's there. he's doing this thing where he's trying to look more buff, and he's looking at like Todd's arms and then looking at his arms and like comparing them. And if you're not paying attention, you'll miss the whole thing.
I did notice it, but I didn't think anything of it. I was like,
Yeah.
you know, but then, yeah, after you mentioned it, yeah, it was kind of like, now think about it. Yeah.
Did you happen to see the janitor in the background walk by?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that?
Yep. I was like, oh, and again, that's like the whole red herring thing, you know, like, hey, it's the janitor, and
it was a random thing. That was actually Wayne wrapped up in something. That was Wayne's feet.
Always got to be someone.
Right.
Call
Christian,
Wayne,
you look
he'll
like
do
you got the most comfortable seat in this interview. You're just laid back and just bam, he gonna go to sleep on us. I don't blame him.
Drunk.
Hey, I'm getting there.
Nothing wrong with that.
I'm getting there. We'll get there. All right. So speaking of Wayne, let's go to Michael.
There we go.
Let's so your character, I guess we'll consider you, other than Larry, and Roger the male lead in this. So how was your experience with this film?
It was great. You know, I met Dave back when he did Curse of the Slasher Nurse, and you know, finding filmmakers where we live is pretty rare. Like, it's just not something that happens around here too often. So when you hear that someone's trying to do this, you're like, I gotta meet this person. Like, we gotta talk. And, you know, through, you know, Return of the Slasher Nurse, we talked to, you know, how we love that subgenre of 80s slasher movies. You know, I was a camper. Like, I went to summer camp. Like, a lot of those things influenced me growing up. You know, I would take friends into the woods and like, oh, I'm gonna chase you. I'm gonna, you know, scare you, just because I was so in love with that time period.
You were that
you know,
guy.
I was that guy, man. Like, yeah. I love these films, and when he was like, hey, I want to make like an 80s summer camp slasher movie, I was like, I don't care what you want me to do, I want to be in it. And so then that's when he offered the character of Michael, and then we talked a little bit about like who was this character, like, you know, what's his motivation, like, why is he there? And he kind of came up with like, he's kind of like he's a douchebag. Like, he thinks he's the coolest guy at camp.
He's a likable douchebag.
Yeah, he's likable, but he's one of those guys where, like, you know, if you meet that guy that's like maybe failed, like Ryan Reynolds and Van Wilder, you know, he's been at college a little too long, but like he's been there long enough to know stuff and people like him, but there's going to be some people that are kind of like, why the hell is he still here? And that was kind of Michael. You know, Michael loves summer camp. It's what he looks forward to every year. I feel like he's like always looking at like Teen Beat and like, you know, all those like 80s and magazines just to see what's cool and like what are the girls into. Like, he gets a little cross earring to kind of, you know, go with you know,
George
David.
Michael.
Yeah, George Michael, or like David. You know, he wants to be cool, and so like I kind of felt like he was a little bit like Paul Rudd from Wet Hot American Summer. You know, where he always kind of had these like zingers and like it didn't always make sense, and you're like, the fuck is this guy up to? But then, like, you know, he would just like flip it, and you know, he's like, just want to get laid, man. Like, that was his motivation, is he just wanted to get laid. And I feel like he had maybe either attempted to screw everything at the camp and had either been successful or denied. And then when he sees, you know, he's got Tiffany and Kimberly, he's like, oh, fresh meat, you know, like, I'm gonna screw one of these two, or at least attempt. And you know, Kimberly just, gosh, there's just the rack on that one.
Tiffany was too much of the nice girl for Michael.
Yeah, and I mean, it's funny because if you look at it, there's like a duality between Tiffany and Kimberly and like Mike and Todd, whereas, you know, Todd's probably like, hey man, we should probably go over here and like do what, you know, Bob told us to do. And like Mike's like, fuck that shit, dude. Like, let's go smoke. Like, let's go find Hampton and Stacy and see if they want to get drunk. Like, so you kind of see the similarities between those two characters and why they could be drawn to one another. Sure. Is that I see Kimberly and I'm like, this chick with like the fishnets and the jean jacket, like this chick likes to party, and that's what I like to do. So you know, it kind of gravitates toward her, and he's like, yeah, you go hang out with the blonde chick. I'm gonna go talk to chick with a nice ass.
And then Michael winds up going after Nurse Kurek, and it was
Yeah,
like, well,
that-
oh, okay.
That was it was funny when we were shooting that scene. We were trying to figure out like, like how do we end that bit? And I remember Cody, who plays Todd, he's like, what if he just like looked over at me and like got this spark and like just like give me a kiss on the cheek or something. And it's like he's like it's like a gift because he wasn't thinking of her because he was so enamored with Kimberly because she's the new girl and he's got to see what she's all about. And he's like, oh, wait a minute, there's the nurse. You're right. Like I can go seduce her. And so like we did that whole bit where I'm like, he's like, I'm sorry I can't help you with your blue balls, but I'm like, oh, sweet Todd, you can. And I give him that
Yes,
kiss
you
and
can,
like walk
yeah.
away.
They actually might not know what you're talking about. I think that's only in the extended cut.
We got the extended cut.
They
We got
the
it. No, we
extended-
got it. Because it was funny as shit. Because when Mike walks in, he's like, "I got a pain. Where's it at? My groin. Oh, my blue balls." And after the whole thing goes, and then fucking is it Roger that walks in?
Yeah, it's Roger.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I got a pain. It's in my groin. I'm like, please, can we keep filming? Like, don't stop at this point. Like, just keep going here.
Originally, there was a little extended to that too. When I said, I think I pulled my groin. Julie Prescott, who plays Nurse Kerrigan, actually pulls up the condom, and Roger faints.
Now that I would like to see. See, that's that producer's cut. And I just want to, point out that Christian just, damn, that dude is fucking awesome. Just straight up poured that bottle back, man. Like I keep keeping my eye on him, and man, the dude is more impressive as we go on.
Trust me, it wears off real quick.
It's like, god damn. He put his beard in a braid, ready to rock and get that mold for us made. So yeah, he's ready to rock. So that's Bloody Summer Camp, but
Yeah.
there is another movie that's coming out that I am even more interested in because of the stacked cast that's in it, and that's Go Away. I mean, you got Felissa back, I'm pretty sure. You got Tom Matthews. I think Mark Patton's in it.
No, Tuesday night. he
Tuesday
played,
night.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
we also got Justin Markson, who was in
Yes.
Haunt, and we got Elsie Holt, who was in You're Next.
yes, yeah, it's a stacked ass cast on that.
And from Thousand Corpse.
Oh yeah, Robert Mukes as well. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So I don't know how much you can go into that. Well, let's start here. So is everybody in here in that, or how many people? here are in
I'm
that?
not.
I think about half
What?
the people in here are in that.
I'm not in it,
Christian,
but that's okay because I got to go to a photo shoot.
Christian, Shonda, and Mike are all in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, damn.
Damn, Christian.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Motherfucker's on it, man. He's got it.
Yeah,
It's Saturday night.
Rouse.
He's got it going on, man. Yeah, show them balls. That's what's in them movies. Without a doubt.
I can't let my balls deflate. I got to keep them filled with liquor.
This man, I got to hang out with this man. If you ever show up at a convention, motherfucker, I am there. Like after it's over, it's game on, no doubt. And that's the cool thing about you guys. And I mean, have you guys ever really thought about like when? Well, not when. She's if it's a when you guys get famous and you guys show up to conventions. Holy shit, that's scary as fuck over there with Dave. That's the is that that's the cast for it? That's
the
fucking
prop.
That's
Wow.
Look at the beard too. The beard was definitely had the line.
It's so crazy.
That's
Yeah.
that's terrifying actually.
That is.
I always keep Christian with me.
Well, you should. You should.
He does
That-
questionable things with that head.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what happens with that? But you know
Yeah,
what?
they wouldn't give me the mouth open, so
You tried though. See,
It's
you
okay.
tried
You got
though.
the nub in the back.
That's because they knew. They're like, we can't. You can't give this with the mouth open. We know what's going to
It's a
happen.
very awkward menage.
You know what's going to happen here. Honey,
Yeah,
where's
I'm
all the
not-
Vaseline at?
I'm not gonna show you the hole drilled in the back of the head.
Oh shit! All right, well, that
It's a whole
goes-
whole new level of skull.
that is another episode here. But yeah, I mean, Go Away again, another homage to the whole 80s slasher again, and I guess I don't know how much you can say about it. I know I'm very, very interested in it, and it just looks amazing.
I mean, I can go into a little detail about it. Obviously, I mean, we listed all the, all the actors that are in it. And like I said, we brought back several characters but actors from Bloody Summer Camp. I try to use as many people as possible. We did an open casting call, and we brought back a lot of people that we have worked with before, because we want to surround ourselves with people that we know.
Right.
We're not, at this point with indie filmmaking, it's kind of hard to take risks when you've got casts that are reliable and will show up.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we do try to branch out and meet new people. And like I said, we have a few new cast members, but so Go Away is, again, it's also like Bloody Summer Camp. It is inspired by slasher films, but it's not a direct slasher film. We tried to mix it up. I always had this idea to do like old school versus new school, and it was always just the whole plot kind of evolved from the thought that I'd always wonder what it would be like if an old school slasher like Michael Myers went up against like some new age killers, like the home invasion. That's a new kind of subgenre of horror films, is like home invasions. You're Next, Funny Games,
Hush.
Yeah, Hush, Purge. It's usually it's usually attack at your home. There's a lot of times there's not even a reason behind it. It's usually more than one killer. There's a lot of similarities in these films. And so, like I said, the concept was just like, what if Michael Myers went up against the Purge? What would happen? And also exploring what would happen to the people that were caught in the middle of that, because you've got two different like things going at each other, kind of like a Freddy versus Jason type
You
thing.
stole the
too.
words right out of my mouth. That's
Yeah.
exactly where I was going.
Exactly, because they're going against each other, but at the same time, no one is safe that's within that bubble, because they can be attacked by both people. And so that's where the whole idea that always kind of like was going around in my head, and I kind of came up with this plot. And it's 5 intruders. They like to play a game. They have a certain set of rules that they go by. Each intruder has their own kind of personality. You've got the main intruder, he wears a red mask. It's basically like a devil mask. And he's the one who's kind of the head of the whole thing. He's the one that's most worried about the theatrics of it. He's the one that's, you have to go by the rules. You have to play the game. And then some of his other followers aren't so tied to the rules. Like Yellow is borderline worse than Red, because he's not worried about playing by the rules. He's actually he's just as sadistic as Red, but he actually doesn't care about all of the theatrics that Red does. He just likes killing people. And then you've got Robert Mukes plays Blue, who Robert Mukes is I think 6'8". He's fucking huge, so obviously Blue's whole thing is, he just likes to kill you with his hands. And then you got Pink, who's a sadistic like right hand to Red. She follows Red's rules, And there's also kind of like a connection between Pink and Red. We never really explore it. Are they brother and sister? Are they, husband and wife? There's a connection there that we never really explore, but you can tell that there's a loyalty. And then you've got Green, who's basically he's a newbie. He's the lesser experienced of the group. But
I love the fact that that's Green. The green one.
Right. Yeah. And so there's the main character, Liz. She's going to meet her estranged mother. She hasn't seen her mother in years. She found out her mother got married. She didn't tell her about it, and there's kind of like some turmoil between them. They've had a falling out, but now that she found out their mother's been married, she's going to visit her. She's taking her boyfriend with her, who they've been having some problems as well. And they go there along with several other family members. And that's the house that ends up being attacked by the intruders. So it's a multi-layered kind of plot.
Damn, that sounds awesome. That sounds right up my alley, without a doubt.
Yeah, we tried to be, Bloody Summer Camp's more fun. It was. I love comedy. Comedy is always my go-to, and I liked adding the campy fun to Bloody Summer Camp. And what we tried to do differently with this is we try to go more straight horror and more suspense.
Awesome. So, what are the next steps for Bloody Summer Camp?
Bloody Summer Camp is being released on June 14th. I just got the release schedule. The way it works is it's going to be released for rent and buy on VOD platforms, and then eventually it'll be out on subscription-based platforms. That I don't know yet, because I get there's 3 stages of release, and I get the schedules for them as they happen. Like I said, right now we're on the first level of release, which is going to be rent or buy on VOD and DVD and Blu-ray. So it'll be out on several popular
subscription platforms.
Yeah, not subscription yet. Like I said, subscription will be next. Right now it's just rent or buy. It'll be out on it's supposed to be out on iTunes, supposed to be out on Apple TV, Vudu, Amazon, all the popular rent or buy platforms. And then once it's had its run there, eventually it'll be released on subscription-based platforms. Yeah.
So, Wayne and Rita, it was really great talking to you.
Yes.
I know that you gotta take off, and I'm sorry we didn't get to spend more time with you.
Yeah, no worries, guys.
Thank you so much for showing up.
Thank you, guys.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys for having us.
Thank you.
Sure.
We'll talk to you again soon.
Absolutely.
Hopefully we will.
Oh,
Bye.
Bye, ladies. Bye, everyone.
I love you.
bye.
Bye.
Love you, Rita.
Love you too. Christian, am I going to see you in July?
Maybe.
Oh,
I got a table.
I got big balls.
Damn,
You can put
crushing
your
tables.
balls on my table. I got your books.
Boom.
All right.
Man.
Love you guys.
Love you.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
The fact that she had a retort to that, I got big balls. I got your books.
Rita's
Fuck.
actually the reason that I'm in with these people. I've known Rita for about probably close to 10 years. And
Yeah.
she was friends with Dave on Facebook, and she tagged me in a post when I guess he had somebody drop out for Return of the Slasher Nurse. So she tagged me in that, got me in touch with Dave, and the rest is history.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she actually brought you up at the first cast meeting. Like, we had the very first meeting, and she showed up. And it was you actually replaced Matt Burns, because Matt Burns had to drop out for personal reasons. And I was talking to her about how I need to find a replacement. She's like, "Well, I know this guy, Christian," and she was telling me about you. And she's like, "Yeah, he's from New Jersey." I was like, "Nope, Nope. And she's like, she's like, no, but yeah, he'll do it. And I was like, is he reliable? And she's like, yeah, he's reliable. Oh, all right. Okay. Yeah, I'll give it a go. You know, I'll see how this goes. I'm hesitant as fuck though. I'm like, this dude gets flaky at all, I'm fucking cutting him. Because, you know, I've been burned many times before. New Jersey was quite a ways away.
Yeah.
But I was like, if he shows up, hell yeah. And he fucking showed up, and I was like, I fell in love with his ass as soon as I fucking saw him. Like, oh,
Literally.
That's
He
fun.
did
So,
his-
so did I. So
And
did
the
I.
rest
I guess
of
that's
him.
I guess that's
Yeah.
weird. I mean, I
he,
did too.
he
Literally,
did his
yeah.
scenes in May. He was done. He did his scenes, and then I was like, I contacted him. I was like, I want to write more scenes for your character. Would you come back? And he said yes. And we actually wrote additional scenes. They came back in August and filmed with us again because I just wanted to see him again. I was like,
The dude is awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
not without even like, you know, talking to him more than 20 minutes. The dude is a fucking soldier, without a doubt.
he has
You
a
are-
presence.
makes me blush.
He has a presence on screen. It's hard not to cast Christian because like that, like y'all said about Larry, it's kind of the same way. If you ever watch Return of the Nurse, his character is Tom, and Tom, when he's on the screen, he steals the show. He's got that character. He's so entertaining to watch. Yeah, I always have to work with Christian. So.
I mean, outside of being a good actor, just seems like a good dude. I mean, that's
Yeah.
the thing is that, you know,
That's how to become a good actor.
He's
'cause you
he's
gotta
all right.
be a decent person.
the dude is pounding Maker's Mark. He is in my fucking book. He is in my book. That is a good motherfucker right there.
I don't.
I
don't
love
know.
acting. My first deal is I'm an author, and if you're not a drunken author, you're not a real author. So
True story. True story.
I
That
don't know if
is.
Christian would take a bullet for me, but I know he'd hide a body for me.
Hey, that's. But
Yeah.
see, that's first step to step two, though. Is that he'll hide a body, then the bullet comes.
Yeah.
we take a bullet for Dave, and I have hidden a body for him. We dug it up, had sex with it, and then I had to rebury it. So
Oh my God.
twice as much. But
That's awesome.
I
What is
would
it? And
do
what is the title of that?
Wow.
anybody in the cast,
Lone
Sweet Lone
Survivor.
Survivor.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Buying it.
Christian Jensen. Never heard of her.
Yep, that's
Never
right.
heard of her.
Yeah,
I'm still trying to recover after, you know, digging bodies up and fucking them. I'm still trying to get over that. That's shock value right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like
Imagine
trying to look at
spending
this.
12 hours on set with that.
I'm trying to look at the book, and he's like, "Oh, you know, we dug up a corpse and fucked it and reburied it." I'm like, "Hold on, what's the title of that book?" I don't quite understand yet because thinking about what you just said.
Yeah, his book was Lone Survivor.
Well, apparently so was that corpse. So,
Oh no, it didn't survive.
well,
Oh,
that's
Not
that's
many
the
did.
sequel. That's the sequel book.
I think one of the best moments on set was when we were at this camp. Christian was just going like full in improv, yelling and stuff. And these people were walking through that were looking at it as a venue for a wedding.
Oh yes.
Yeah. I just
Is
sent
he
an
my minister?
apology. I sent an apology email because I'd rented the camp out and I had a contact for the camp. And she was like, yeah, just to let you know, we got someone that's going to be looking at the camp for a wedding. And she's like, don't mind us, we'll stay out of your way. I was like, okay, no problem. They showed up when we're doing the kitchen scene where he's yelling, saying, you come into Larry's fucking kitchen, he's just yelling, slamming shit, I was like, oh, and I heard that they were in the other room because we're in the kitchen. They were in the fucking cafeteria. I was like, oh, I'm fucked. And so I sent an apology email like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. It's like, and she was like, no, it's fine. They thought it was entertaining. She's like, we're camp people. We have a sense of humor. Like, they had a blast. I was like, Thank God.
That's holy shit.
And if they
That's-
wanted to marry them, I am a legally ordained minister, so I could have.
Yeah, we could have did it right then.
Yeah.
this motherfucker does everything. Author,
You
minister,
fucking take
actor.
her to take him. All right, you're fucking married. Get
Yeah.
the fuck out of here.
You're
In
fucking
Larry's
married.
fucking kitchen.
My balls.
But I get to fuck her. Boom.
And then Christian's scene with Cody, where he's got him up against the fucking cabinet in the kitchen, and he's yelling at him. It was way worse. And like our sound guy, Jonathan, man, where's Jonathan from? Where's Jonathan from? Because Jonathan was the one. Jonathan was like, no, you should like he should get worse. He should say more. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know about that. You know, I think that we go. I think we're treading the line. Huh?
Jonathan was Asian, so he wanted me to throw as many racial slurs in as I could.
Yeah,
I was a Vietnam vet.
Yeah.
So I had to get very creative with some. I mean, that's really
the
not
take. The take was specific for Jonathan, and he fucking
Yes.
laughed his ass off. He's talking about showing his family, and I'm like, no, this will never see the light of day. No.
Yeah, it's fun. I came up with some new and improved epitaphs for Asian Americans, and just also going back to some of the stuff that I heard when I was a kid. I grew up around a lot of Vietnam vets, so I heard a lot of stories. So I was throwing some of that stuff
No
in there.
doubt.
Yeah.
I was really channeling in like the just that character, the Vietnam vet guy who just hates everybody and is angry at everybody, and you know. So that was, and it's hard to do that and try to come up with these ridiculous names and things that you're saying that are so off the wall and over the top, and still be serious and screaming at somebody when you're like talking about fucking somebody's grandmother, and you know.
Oh, and then there's the scene where like we're just doing it for video, and like you're doing the action like you're yelling at him, but you're like reciting a fucking like lullaby to him.
It's amazing.
I hope the fuck there is like.
So that's all in the special
4 hour
features then?
I need a 4-hour cut of this fucking movie.
We like need like some serious blooperage.
Yeah, I'm making like there's at least a 20-minute reel of deleted scenes and stuff. I don't know if it's gonna be on the Blu-rays or DVDs. If not, I'll end up releasing it somehow.
Man, we want to see it. I mean,
Yeah.
Any chance to see more of this crew, more of these actors? I mean, I'll pay $20-$30 if that's how you release it. I don't even care. I mean, you got to understand something. We've done a lot of interviews, and I will tell you this, Clint, you can correct me, but you're not going to. This has been our best one without a doubt to date.
Fun as shit.
You know, and it's just a testament to how you guys just, you know, are with each other and your stories behind scenes. And I mean, it goes a long way to, you know, to helping us understand what you guys really go through on set and how much you guys, you know, rely on each other and get close to each other. And you know, we want to be a part of that, and that's why we're trying to really, you know, get behind these indie films and make sure that we do what we can to promote you guys, to get these Indiegogos going, and to get these, you know, donations in and contributions in, because we want to see these things that you always put out there, you know, hey, this is a perk. Hey, and people don't understand, like, you know, you're going to get that. Like, if this movie succeeds, you're going to get that. Like, it's not just, you know, thrown to the wayside. Like, you're going to get this awesome poster, this awesome Blu-ray, this awesome download. And, you know, to see this movie firsthand, you know, to see it, I mean, there's no doubt this movie will succeed 1,000% without a doubt. I mean, and I hope it does.
We're super excited that it's finally been released.
Yeah.
You know, we did have our crowdfunder release back in September, I think. But you know, that we're talking a few hundred people.
Yeah.
You know, to finally get, you know, it's been a long process, almost a year of talking to distributors, finding the right one, and then jumping through all the hoops that you have to go through to get, you know, it ready for distribution. So it's been a long process to finally know now that all these people who hit me up like, where can I watch this? Where can I watch this? I mean, yeah, I've been fielding these questions for almost 3 years now,
so years.
ever since the concoction of the film. So it's really exciting to finally be able to say it's coming out for public release June 14th. You know, it's going to be out. If you want it, you know, everyone's been wanting to see it. It's finally going to be out. And now those numbers are going to go from hundreds of people seeing it to thousands and thousands of people seeing it. And we're ready. You know, we've been ready. We're ready for people to finally see what, you know, what we've created. So
yeah, no, I mean, and yeah, that's it's fantastic. And you know, we try to get these interviews out as soon as we can, and like as soon as we get off here, and you know, me and Clinton don't talk for the next 8 fucking hours about how awesome y'all are. You know, this will convert, and then I can put it on YouTube, and I want to get it out as soon as I can, because 1, you guys are fucking fantastic. 2, people need to see this movie. I mean, if you ever wanted a 80s slasher that was, you know, an 80s slasher in 2022, I mean, you can't really think of any other ones besides this one. You know, and 3, I mean, the cast. I mean, the cast is fucking amazing. I mean, it's and again, you know, I really applaud you guys and everything with what you brought to the table and what you did, because, you know, we've seen a lot of these movies that are just like, they're just shit. It's like, why did you even do this? Why did you waste these people's time? Like, you could have did so much better. But this one, it was like, you could just tell, like, the people that were in it wanted this to succeed, wanted this to go beyond just, oh, well, let's watch it on YouTube. Like, when this gets released June 14th, I'm fucking buying it and putting it on my shelf. And then whenever I get these cast members to sign it, it's going to go on top of my shelf, and I'm going to display it. So, I mean, and that, again, that's a testament to how awesome the movie was directed, produced, written, the actors acting the characters out. I mean, again, it was just amazing. I mean, it was. And I've been, like I said, I've been keeping my eye on this one for about 2 years, you know, so I was like, I know this is coming out eventually. I don't know when. I'm just going to, you know, follow everything I can. And then we, you know, me and you talked on Facebook, and you were like, hey, it's finally coming out. And I'm like, well, can we fucking please get an interview together? Cause I really want to talk to these people with this movie. And it's actually been a really surreal experience with what we've done up to this point, to be able to talk to the people we've talked to and do the things that we do. I mean, it's been fucking phenomenal. And you just add to the, you know, to the mix, and it's fantastic. And I love it. I mean, I really do. It's fun. It's educational, and you know, don't stop doing what you guys are doing, because y'all are amazing. You really are.
And a side note, congratulations on being able to navigate, you know, filming during a pandemic and being able to get a product out there. You know, I know that Wayne was telling us earlier that he made a tremendous sacrifice by having to rock that ridiculous mustache for about 1.5 years. So any heartaches that you went through during that time, just know that it was all worth it, that you had a really good product come out the other end. And congratulations on that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and a big part of filming was the camp. The camp was actually Camp Holiday Trails, and they're actually a nonprofit camp for kids with special medical needs. And one of the downsides of COVID was it actually shut the camp down for the summer. It was unfortunate for them, it kind of benefited us. I mean, sadly, because we were able to film there during the summertime because they had to shut camp down. Usually you have to film in the off season. And when COVID first hit in March, they hit like as soon as the first 2 days that we filmed in March, we had like April and May that we were going to film. And then COVID hit and shut everything down. And we were expected to not be able to film at the camp until August. But the camp ended up getting shut down because of COVID. Like I said, it was terrible for the camp. It was really unfortunate because they also rely on weddings and stuff. You know, they got weddings in spring around May and everything that help pay for that camp.
Right.
Luckily, we did what we could. You know, obviously we couldn't do but so much, but we actually were able to raise over $1,000. We did a kind of charity thing and raised over $1,000 for the camp to try and help them because they weren't able to, you know, get, like I said, they had a bunch of weddings canceled and everything, just trying to help them get through. And I'll always support that camp just because they let us go in there and they let us treat that camp as a home. You know, when I first got a permission to film there, I was like, okay, how much? And they basically worked out the lowest rate that they possibly could for me. I'm like, all right, well, where can I film? And they're like, everywhere. I was like, what? Everywhere? I can film anywhere? And so they basically gave us free reign of the camp. You know, as long as we kept the camp and, you know, and the way it was when we showed up, you know, they really just let us go in there and do our thing. And so, like I said, we're really appreciative of them. We feel like they're a huge part of this whole film being made. And like I said, we were able to get filming in June and July. Luckily, a lot of the filming was actually filmed during summer at the summer camp because of the whole COVID shutdown thing. But
yeah,
if it wasn't for the camp, this movie wouldn't have been made because, like I said, they gave us just such a decent rate on the camp. We're actually able to film like, I think, a total of 20 days there. So
wow,
yeah, they're a great camp. If anyone wants to donate, you can always go on campholidaytrails.org and donate money to them. I usually birthday time, that's my charity, you know, and any other time I can push them. I'll always push that camp because they do a lot of great things, and like I said, they helped us out so much. So
sure. No, we'll usually when we do this, we try to ask, you know, the director, you know, or a couple of people in here, you know, what we can contribute to, because, you know, I would, you know, love to pay each and every one of you guys to appear on here. But, you know, a little hard to, because, you know, Christian would be, you know, $5,000, you know, alone. So son of a bitch.
$500 for each ball, man.
Yeah, right. $1,000 for both balls. Jesus Christ. I mean, it's worth it, but fuck, that's steep price.
For 5,000, you can lick them.
Oh,
Well,
sounds like a steal.
I'm on mic. I can't on mic. I can't. I mean, I'm gonna accept that deal. If I said no, I'd be like, "What the fuck's wrong with you?" So I will on mic while we're recording say that, and this will be in the YouTube video. Yes, it will. But no. We'll make a contribution to that camp if that's what you want, or you just tell us what you want us to do, because, you know, we are.
Oh yeah,
1,000% appreciative.
Definitely, if you're going to contribute anything to anything, that camp.
You got it.
Hands down.
Awesome.
Like I said, I love everything about that camp. It's just it's an awesome place, and like I said, they helped us out so much. I can't say enough about that camp. So.
That's awesome, my man. I mean, it's one of those things that a locale is a hard enough thing to get a hold of, and it's expensive enough to, you know, to shoot as it is. And the fact that they worked with you, yeah, we'll do that for you guys. Just when we get off here, just shoot us the link on our Facebook group or our message that we've talked on. But we don't want to keep you guys on here any longer. You know, we're pushing 9 o'clock. I mean, you guys have been on here. We 1,000% cannot thank you guys enough for taking time out of your Saturday night to come and talk to us. It has been an absolute blast, pleasure to get to meet you guys, to talk to you guys. That's fucking awesome. Damn, that is cool. But each one of you guys, especially you four, I would at some point in the future, I would like to get you guys on your own episode. You know, we like to have a, you know, sometimes do a one-on-one. Well, Clint, you know, 2-on-1. Interview. So
Don't forget about me.
yeah, sorry.
Sounds like a good time.
It's a great time. It
Not my
really
fault.
fucking is. But no, we like to get, you know, the single actor or actress on, and we usually have a great time. So maybe sometime in the future when you guys aren't busy or anything, we can schedule something, you know, because it would be cool to talk to you guys, you know, like I said, one-on-one and get to know you a little better. But as far as tonight, we really can't thank you guys enough for taking the time out and, you know, talking about this phenomenal movie. We can't wait to put this out so people can actually, you know, get ready for it when it comes out on June 14th. I mean, it's only a couple weeks away, so people need to get ready for it.
Definitely. Yeah. Thank you for having us. We definitely appreciate all the support, and we hope that y'all's podcast continues to grow, man.
Hey, we appreciate
Thank you
that,
so
man.
much.
If you guys can help us out with it, you know, we're trying to take off. We've gotten to a point where we didn't think we would get to. And again, it's thanks to guys and gals like you that, you know, that say that stuff. You know, we hope you keep growing and everything. It means a lot to us because we're just trying to get these movies out. I mean, we can review all the old classics that we want, but when we do these indie films, that's what we're trying to do because they need to be seen by people. Because again, you know, it sucks that they fall to the wayside because, oh well, they're not accessible, they're not on Blu-ray. Well, they are on Blu-ray, you're just not looking for them. And if you help a lot with a donation or a contribution, you can get that. So it's no different than going to Walmart and buying it for $30 goddamn dollars. So you know,
Yeah.
give it to a good cause that goes to a contribution. That's how I look at it. So, you know, again, people need to understand that these indie films, you know, we want them to succeed. We want that to happen.
Yeah, and I always tell people too, the one biggest thing that I can tell people about contributing to the crowdfunder rather than waiting until the film comes out. If you ask me, you know, would you rather me buy the film through the crowdfunder or wait till it comes out? You know, it's cool if you wait till it comes out. You know, I'll get some kind of revenue from that. I don't know how much, depends. But I'd rather you get it through the crowdfunder. And the reason being is if you get it through the crowdfunder, your money goes to making the movie better.
Yes.
If I get $1,000 from you, I'd rather it be through the crowdfunder because I'm gonna put that $1,000 into making the film, and you get a film that's $1,000 better than what it would have been. So,
no, I'm
definitely consider contributing to crowdfunders because you're helping make the product that you want be better.
That's a absolute insane point that you say there, because I know once this comes out and people buy the Blu-ray and a DVD, as awesome as it is that happens, you don't see shit. You don't see anything from it because of distributor, and it's a shame because it's like it's your movie. But yeah, you know, if you guys can help, and if you guys do have another Indiegogo, which I don't know if you'll have for Bloody Summer Camp, but I know Go Away has it, and if you want that movie to be as fucking awesome as it is, guys, man, contribute to it because I know that movie's going to be fucking wicked. I know that.
Yeah, I mean, we're in post-production, but still there's costs in post-production, and the more that we raise, the more that we can do. You know, I mean,
Absolutely.
it's like you said, if you buy a movie through the distributor, I might see profit. I've got movies out that I haven't seen a profit from.
It's a
You know,
shame.
it's
I mean, it's a shame. It sucks, but
so
you know,
contribute to the crowdfunder because I know where that money's going.
Damn right.
Yeah.
And we'll put a link on our group for Go Away because that's the next. I guess that's your next big one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll definitely throw that on there. So, yeah, guys, again, we can't thank you enough for showing up here. It means a lot to us, you know, because we're getting rolling, and you know, once we hit, you know, 15 million members and Christian's one ball is on our group, it's game fucking over. We own Facebook at that point. But no, you guys have been absolutely phenomenal, and it means a lot to us that you take time out of your Saturday to come chat with us. It really does. So I was trying to wait for Mike, but he just kind of fell off the face of the fucking earth.
Yeah, I'm afraid because he's in my house somewhere. I don't know where he's at.
Oh shit, that is not a good thing.
Yeah,
Just
I don't know
fucking
what he's
disappeared.
But yeah,
Roger.
I'm very thankful to everyone who was able to join. I tried to get as many of the main cast. Many
Brother,
of
you
the,
did a great
Yeah,
job. I mean,
it
the
was
people you
wonderful.
brought to the table have been fucking phenomenal. I mean, there's no other way I can say it. I mean, you guys have been fantastic, and you know, you've been a blast to talk to. And yeah, to this date, this has been our greatest interview. I mean, it really has. We've had a absolute blast. We've gone 2 hours. We haven't had an interview that's gone 2 hours. So yeah, we're fucking here. We're still here.
Oh, thank God.
But no, like I was telling them, if you didn't hear anything, you know, we love the fact that everybody was here, and we can't thank you enough. And Mike, I've talked to you a couple times on Facebook. You're fucking phenomenal, you know, to message, and I appreciate you keeping in contact with me with everything that's been going on.
Oh, absolutely, brother, man. Thank you kids so much for having us on, man. You guys have been a blast.
It's our pleasure, without a doubt, guys. Again, have a good Saturday night, and we love you guys, and thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Thank
having
Thank you
us.
so much.